Let us not forget everything that happens. It's by the will of Allah. Holy will. It's time to unite and stand, and we will be the best amongst men. It's not time to be extreme or duty unthinkable, but to stand together as one. Tune into Sunnahfollowers, streaming every day, various platforms. Trust me, you'll find a way. Sunnahfollowers. Join us every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern for the Access to Layla live call-in and answer show. Please join Ustada lailanasheeba. If you have any questions in regards to this theme, call in at 862-370-2838. Now streaming on various platforms right here on Sunnahfollowers. Oh yeah, and don't forget to join us in the 24-hour Zoom room for behind-the-scenes access. Wake up in the morning, hands and feet get wet, my Lord. Get wet, get wet, my Lord. Wet, my Lord. Wet, my Lord. Wake up in the morning, hands and feet get wet. Getting ready for our conversation, deep and in depth. Obligations are serious and need to be met. So I prepare so I won't forget. Go ahead and make a good intention. Yeah, yeah. You can wrap up some good things. Yeah, make a donation to the side and go from left to make it right. Just remember and don't lose sight. Jannah is the goal. Jannah is the goal. Jannah is the goal. Assalamu alaikum. Sunnahfollowers presents a new and exciting course to add to your Islamic learning and development. Interpretation in Living with the Quran, taught by Sheikh Saad Hassanin, considered to be one of the most accomplished scholars of Quranic science in the United States. He is a member of AMJA, the Assembly of Muslim Jurists of America. He holds a PhD in Islamic Studies, professor at IUM. His specialty is in 10 different styles of Quranic recitation and jurisprudence. Classes will be held every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, streaming right here on Sunnahfollowers. Seerah of the Prophet Muhammad, the final messenger. The seerah of the Prophet Muhammad, the final messenger. The seerah of the Prophet Muhammad, the final messenger. The seerah of the Prophet Muhammad, the final messenger. The seerah of the Prophet Muhammad, the final messenger. You will make it through. The fitrah is awake in you. With Quran and Sunnah by your side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through. You will make it through. The fitrah is awake in you. With Quran and Sunnah on his side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through. With Quran and Sunnah on his side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through.
In alhamdulillah, wassalat wassalam ala wa rasulullah. I want to welcome everybody to our Akida class, which is our first class for tonight. And I want to remind everyone, don't forget that we also have a Sheikh Saud. And as the intro said about him, he's one of the scholars of the ulama here, and we should be very fortunate to have him here as a part of Sunnah followers. He's one of the scholars of the ulama here in America. As a matter of fact, he's an Islamic jurist, and he's on the American Muslim Assembly of Jurists here in America. So his class will be tonight at 7:45, and what he's doing is teaching is Quran interpretation and application. He's going to take the different surahs of the Quran, break down the meaning of them into English so that you can understand, and then how you can take the meaning of the Quran and apply it in your personal life. It's a class similar to Dr. Asim's, but not as intense as Dr. Asim's is. So please make sure you guys stay here tonight. This is my class now. I'm not going to make my class long. I'm going to try to keep it short so we can take a break and then be back here by 7:45 for Sheikh Saud's class. Okay, so let's get started. Today we're going to finish chapter 4 of the book, which has become such a great chapter for me, because in this chapter of the book, Diluting Wala wa Better, what we've embarked upon is the journey of self-reflection. And as Muslims, if we want to be those people who attain paradise, we have to do a lot of self-reflection. We should hold ourselves accountable on a regular basis to check ourselves to see if our actions, our choices in life are in accordance to what's pleasing to Allah, and if they are done in accordance to the rules and laws of Islam. And I've been focusing in on women in this chapter, because subhanallah, the book is all about how to maintain your Islamic identity, your Muslim identity, living in a non-faith-filled environment, living in a non-Islamic society, such as America, such as the United Kingdom. And we're living in the era in which the major signs of the last hour are occurring. Women have taken on the role of men in many instances. In many cases, we have the feminists out there. There is no need for feminism in Islam. This feminism totally contradicts La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. It contradicts, the character, the behavior of the female companions. They were not feminists. They were women of integrity. They were women of dignity, women of humility, and balance. They knew what was lawful for them. They knew what they could do and what they couldn't do. They understood the barriers, the things that come between their relationship with Allah. Okay, so this feminist movement that's going on today, it totally contradicts Islamic belief. And only a fool would call lailanasheeba feminist, because I've been reading some of the comments about me. People don't know me. My dawah is not new. I've been doing this longer than anybody that y'all know that's famous. Oh, yeah. I was the first to do it on the internet in 86. So I've been around a long time. I'm an old lady, very old. I got grandkids. I'm a pretty old lady. Oh, yeah. I'm not young. I ain't stupid either. I've been around longer than most of these brothers. I'm older than Kareem. Did y'all know that? Oh, yeah. I'm older than Kareem Abdul-Zayd. I'm older than him. I've been around longer than all these bros. Okay? So, I hear what the brothers saying and what they're typing, calling me a feminist. Astaghfirullah. Anybody that calls Layla a feminist don't know her, because I've been fighting against feminism since I was 10 years old. I've been fighting against feminism and trying to let the world know that Allah gave women rights, that there's no need for a woman to be a feminist. And I've always preached how feminism is just another name to want to be a man. It's part of the LGBTQ community. In my opinion, you feminists, you're no different than Maude. Y'all remember the TV show called Maude? Look at Maude. Golden Girl Maude. Y'all know in real life she was a man. She was a man who had a sex change operation in real life. But he hid it because it wasn't out the box back in those days in the 70s. He kept it under clue. That's why he always wore his neck cover so you couldn't see his Adam's apple. He got sued before he died. When the women he played Golden Girls with found out he was really a man, oh, they sued him. Blanche, Betty White, they sued him. Because it wasn't popular to be part of the LGBTQ community back in the 70s. Okay? So, feminists, they're just a thin line between wanting to be a man. They're just part of the LGBTQ community. Add the feminist to it. Layla ain't no feminist. Subhanallah. And but anyway, what the problem is what's happening today is that the women don't know what their rights are. The women don't know what their roles are. And that's what this chapter of the book has been focusing in on, self-reflection. When we sit down and reflect upon ourselves, when we hold ourselves accountable as Muslim women, we learn what our strengths and weaknesses are. We learn that the reason why we call ourselves feminists is because we're just ignorant of our religion. We don't know what's lawful for us to do as a woman. We don't know what's unlawful because our parents didn't teach us properly if we were born Muslim, or we were converts to Islam and we learned Islam from some rigid, extreme, fanatical man who had his own personal agenda to try to break you because somebody broke his heart when he was younger. Or maybe his mother dropped him on his head. You never know. People got all kind of skeletons in their closets. Okay, so that's the problem. We have to learn what our roles are as women first, what it is that we can do. A woman, let me ask this question. Can a woman work? Is it lawful in Islam for a woman to seek employment? Okay, and let me give you more details to answer that question. Okay, say, for example, I'm a Muslim woman. Growing up here in America, living in a non-faith-filled environment. Women work. This is 2024. Women go to college. They get college degrees. They go out and get jobs like the men do. Is this permissible for me in Islam? Who can answer this question Islamically?
Yes, it's lawful as long as she doesn't compromise her religion.
Okay, give me more detail. What do you mean by compromise her religion? What does that mean?
Like she, as long as she covers herself.
Okay, that's one answer from one of the kids here. That's one of the youth here, the teenagers. Anybody else want to answer? Is it permissible for a Muslim woman living here in America to go out and get a job?
This is Lucius. Yes, they are, as long as their job doesn't include them having to flirt with other boys.
Okay, so the Muslim youth are telling us it's permissible for a woman to work as long as the type of career she chooses does not impede upon her Islamic values, her Islamic morality. And that's the problem. Muslim women in America have become westernized. We don't know what Islamic morality is for Muslim women anymore. We don't know what our values are. So the kids did a good job. Now let's hear from the parents. Which one of you adults can break it down? Is it permissible for a Muslim woman to work living here in the West?
Yes, it's permissible for a Muslim woman to work in the U.S. as long as she's abiding by all the rules that Allah abides by us, commanded us to do, as long as she's not making a spectacle of herself, and as long as it's not having anything to do with our values, our principles.
Okay, you know your answer is not correct. You got to tell me. You didn't tell me what those values are. That's the problem.
Oh, okay.
I proved it to you sisters all week that y'all don't know what the Islamic values are for women, what Islamic laws are, rules or guidelines. I want somebody to answer this question the way I would. I am a daya. If a person asked me this question, how would I answer? How would Aisha radiallahu anha answer? How would any person that understands, any Muslim woman that understands her religion, how would she answer? I want y'all to answer it as a Muslim woman who knows your religion and knows what those values are, because most women in the West don't know them. Anybody else want to try? Who can try it? Can a Muslim woman living in America work? Can I get a career going for myself? None of you sisters can answer. And this is where we drop the mic. This is why you have brothers out there telling you sisters to stay in your houses and don't do nothing, because y'all don't know. You don't know what Allah's laws and rules are for you. Anyone want to try? Any of my students in there is Norto, Mayliun, Fiza. Come on, people. Precious kids did a good job. The kids summarized it, but I want y'all to break it down. Come on.
I would say is to, for my modesty.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Modesty.
Yeah, hold on. I want you to
Okay.
answer the question. I don't want to go into that. This is the question. Hello, you're a Muslim woman. I'm interested in converting to Islam. I have a career. And I've been told that there's so many inhibitions that Muslim women have that we can't, that if I take on that way of life, there's so many things I'm not allowed to do. So can you just tell me, what does your religion, what does God say about Muslim women seeking employment now?
It's allowed for us to seek employment if it's for a personal and benefit, and that I will stay into the boundaries of Islam and what entitles is me, I don't know.
Can you tell me what are the boundaries of Islam? What do you mean by personal need? That's what I'm saying. Y'all just saying the same thing. Y'all memorizing a book. Y'all memorizing trying to memorize what you heard me say, but you didn't understand the words. Okay, this is the problem with Muslims today. The ruwaybida. We just memorize words, and this is what the brothers are doing too. The brothers are memorizing how to sing the Quran, but they don't understand what those words mean because they don't know the hadiths at all. And you sisters are trying to memorize what Layla is saying, but you're not understanding the information I'm presenting to you. Because if you understood it, you'd be able to explain it, express it. Who else would want to try? Come on. I can't believe this. Every day I do this and it gets worse.
Now, as a Muslim woman, yes, I can work as long as I am not contradicting my religion, as far as in my dress, as far as in my speech, as far as...
What about your dress? What about your speech? What do you mean your dress?
My speech. Okay, so my speech...
Wait a minute. Y'all got to break it down. What do you mean by speech? You can't talk? What do you mean by dress? I got to wear certain clothing? I mean, come on, y'all have to be more expressive.
Okay. So my dress is Islamically dressed in a abaya, loose-fitting clothes. It does not compromise me wearing tight clothes. When I speak in public, I'm speaking with a tough, strong voice.
So I can just throw on a blanket. I can just go out the house with I'm just going to take a blanket, cut a hole in it, throw it on, and I'm good to go. Y'all got to be able to express it. Well, then that's why you need to define it. What is the... I don't know what an abaya is. I'm a Christian. I'm interested in Islam. What is an abaya? I don't speak that language. I heard terrorists speak that. I don't speak terrorists. I'm a city. I'm like, see? Who is that talking anyway? Who is that trying to answer, y'all?
Me. Yeah, that was me. I'm driving, so
that's Mina? Mina? Is that Mina?
Yes, it was Amina. Yes, it was my child.
Don't get frustrated.
Now, me now.
Wait a minute. Okay, I want y'all to wait a minute. Wait, take a breath.
I'm driving.
Yeah, okay. Mina answered this question yesterday. I'm gonna be honest. I don't want Mina to answer because she answered yesterday. She's the only one that gets it. I want to hear from the rest of y'all. Mina, you don't have to answer because you gave the answer yesterday, remember? I want to hear from these other women that are quiet in here because the other sisters didn't get it. The only person that got it right was Mina. She came in off of Facebook and saved the day. But the rest of you sisters, and I don't want you sisters to get upset. Don't get frustrated. This is stuff that you women should know. Okay? I just want to know. I'm interested in your religion, Islam. That man right there, I was watching one of his AIM conferences, and he was talking about Islam and about Judgment Day. And he really got to my heart. And I'm a woman and I want to convert to Islam, but I've heard so many bad things about Islam for women. I heard that if I take on this way of life, I'll be a prisoner to a man and everything else. But I don't care about that. Can you just answer one question for me? I'm interested in Islam, and I would like to be a woman who has a job and can work. Is it permissible in your religion for a woman to work? And if it is permissible for a woman to work, what are the guidelines that your Lord, the Savior, set in place? Simple question. How are you women going to answer it?
I would say that you want to, yes, you can work, but you want to dress modestly. You don't want to take a profession, well, will compromise your beliefs.
What is modesty? I wear shorts and I like to wear a top. That's very modest. I always dress modestly. I have on, you see these pair of shorts I got on? I'm very modest. I don't walk around looking like the rap stars look.
You want to wear long skirts, dresses, loose fitting pants, your hijab. That's modest in Islam.
Dr. Ibrahim Jamali, you see my problem? I started with this question every day. And yesterday, Amina came in after an hour and gave the correct answer. You sisters are going to have to work on this. Y'all don't know about how to answer that Islamically? What are you sisters going to tell your daughters? Your daughters grow up and they say, Umi, I want to go to college. I want to get an education and I want a career for myself. Is there something that I can do as a Muslim woman? What would you sisters tell your daughters? Sister Sharmila, that's what all of y'all keep saying. You keep saying stay within the laws of Allah. Your children, Allah just brought the knowledge. Do y'all really believe that hadith? Do y'all really believe that the hadith about marriage means what y'all think it means? That just because you're having sexual relations, Allah has given y'all 50% of the knowledge of his laws? Do y'all really believe that? How is a child going to know unless somebody teaches them? Tell me, what are they? I don't know the Islamic laws. I don't know the rules. I'm a kid. It's your job to teach me. You're my mommy. You're my mom. Every Muslim woman should know what the Islamic laws address are. Every Muslim woman should know what the Islamic laws of a dab are for a woman. Y'all don't know this. Y'all were born Muslim, most of y'all in here. What did your mom teach you? This is what this book, Diluting Well Better, is all about. We live in a Western world and we have allowed it to take away our identity as Muslim women. It's not about feminism. It's about learning your religion. None of you sisters can answer that. I want to cry. Latifa answered it yesterday and Mina. The rest of y'all are lost.
Can I take a shot at it?
I hope so. I can't believe that all these Muslims listening to me on this internet, none of you sisters can answer this question Islamically, correctly, Islamically. What do y'all teach your daughters? And y'all want to know why we have an apostasy rate? Why do our daughters apostate? What are y'all teaching them? I did teach my daughter. She didn't apostate. She decided to not practice when she turned 40 almost. But my daughter knew this stuff. Come on, people. Can somebody tell me, can a Muslim woman work? And if I can, are there guidelines or rules that I have to abide by? And if so, what are they?
In Islam, a woman can work. However, there are guidelines in regards to what she can work as and what she could be doing. As far as work, we follow and we believe that whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Y'all keep saying all that, but you ain't telling me what those
there,
guidelines are. What are they?
I'm about to explain, Sister Layla. The guidelines are, if we're working, that we are not making a public spectacle. We are not drawing attention that is not positive attention to us in public, meaning, for example, certain types of work requires us to sell ourselves, sell our services in order for us to make our livelihood, our money. For example, such as waitressing, being a waitress in a restaurant. These are the kind of positions that we do not want to put ourselves into because we are being put in a position where there are people around us. We have no protection. And that just makes it's not in the environment that a Muslim woman wants to put herself in to, make money. It goes against our values, it goes against our principles, and that's not
okay. I got a text here from a very famous brother. I'm not going to mention his name. This brother is extremely famous. Y'all watch a lot of his videos. He says, may Allah bless you, Sister Layla. This is pathetic. He said, look, watching you, listening to you, we have failed the people as callers. He said, as true duat, that means callers, we have failed the people. We have failed them. May Allah bless you, Sister Layla, for what you are doing. He said, I am ashamed as a daya because this should be the stuff that we speak about and not what we are speaking about. Famous brother. I ain't going to tell y'all who because I don't want to embarrass him. It's pathetic. Nope, you didn't get it either. Okay, this is something, and just like this famous brother is watching and listening, you know, I hope the rest of you are listening too, because y'all got to stop all this politics. Y'all got to stop all this kafir bashing that y'all doing on the internet. I would say put all that singing the Quran down too. All that Arabic, put it down. And you need to teach these people what La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah means. Teach the women. If you're going to teach, first of all, don't even teach the women. I'm telling this brother who's famous and all you other ones, send them to Layla. Send the women to me. Like Umar told the companions, go to Aisha from now on. Stop going to Ibn Masud. Go to Aisha. She's a woman and she understands women's issues better. So what you brothers do need to do is focus on the men. Teaching the men what La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah means, what wala wa better is, and what are the laws and guidelines that Allah set in place for men in regards to dress and interactions, and what are the laws and rules Allah set in effect for the women. Teach them the basics. Call the people back to Islam and its truthfulness. When the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam sent the companions out to give dawah, he said, call them to Allah first. Teach them what La ilaha illallah means first. And then, only after they understand that, then do you teach them about the prayers and fasting and stuff. And then after that, teach them what the lawful and the unlawful is. Mu'ad. That's when the Prophet made that statement. No one understands the lawful and the unlawful better than Mu'ad. That's why I'm sending him to Yemen. That's why the Prophet sent Mu'ad to Yemen. He was a master of the lawful and the unlawful. And then teach them that stuff. But all this politics y'all into and kafir bashing and singing the Quran, the people are lost. I cannot get one Muslim woman to come in here and answer the question about working and break it down the way I would, the way Aisha would, the way Allah says it should be. It's pathetic. And you wonder why the women don't dress the way. Now y'all see why your daughters are wearing tight blue jeans and mammy rags. Now y'all see why your wives got jobs they shouldn't have. They don't know the difference. They don't know the lawful from the unlawful anymore. They don't know what the role of a woman is. They don't know why we wear hijab. They can't tell me why did we wear hijab. They've listened to you brothers tell them that their hijab is their heart. That ain't what a hijab is. My hijab is my badge of honor. That's garbage. It's a piece of clothing that serves a purpose. You know, you brothers, y'all created these monster women. Just like they don't know what a menses is. You brothers have been telling women to pray on their periods when they can't pray on their periods because you don't know what a period is. You're going to bear that weight too. Bear that weight too. So blame yourselves, brothers. Y'all created these monstrosity women. And the women are just a reflection of their husband. If the women are monstrosities, imagine what a monster their husbands are. That's why their husbands don't go to the mosque. That's why their husbands don't pray. Okay? You sisters got to work on this. All right, let me get to the class because, like I said, we have Sheikh Saud later. But I'm going to say this again for you women. And I hope you guys stop trying to memorize what I say. Remember, the Prophet Muhammad said there's a difference between knowledge and understanding. What is the difference? The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said knowledge is when you simply memorize something. Memorize it. But understanding is when you take what you memorize, put it in your heart, and implement it. You guys have to put what I'm teaching in your heart. Put these hadiths, these verses of the Quran, these examples from the companions in your heart and put them to use. Act on them. I got two people, only two people that answer correctly, Mina and Latifah. That's it. Even my Norto got it wrong yesterday. All right. So how do I answer the question? Can a Muslim woman have a job? Listen to how our person of knowledge answers. Can a Muslim woman work? There's nothing in Islam that forbids a Muslim woman from working. However, Islam is not just a religion, it's a way of life. And being the beautiful way of life that it is, Allah has set guidelines in effect for us, women and men, as protection, because he knows his creation better than we know ourselves, and he knows what lurks in the heart of other people. So yes, a Muslim woman can seek a career, but there's conditions. If she's going to choose a career, number one, the career should not entail her making a public spectacle of herself. A public spectacle means putting herself on display, demanding the attention of men. This could possibly lead to harm for her. Examples. The Prophet's wives used to work. Sauda, radiyallahu anha. Salama, radiyallahu anha. Zainab, radiyallahu anha. Even Habiba and Maymuna. They used to work, but they worked from home. They would take leather and make things out of leather, and they would give it to their servants to take to the market to sell for them, not because they couldn't go to the market, but because they were the wives of the Prophet. And as Allah says in the Quran, "O you wives of the Prophet, you are not like other women." Someone could have kidnapped them or used them against the Prophet. So they didn't go to the market to work, but they worked from home and gave it to slaves or servants to go out and sell. So that's examples that yes, women can work and have worked in Islam, but we cannot be a public spectacle. What do I mean by that? I cannot bring unnecessary attention to me unless it's for two reasons. Number one, fi sabilillah. What does that mean? Unless I'm struggling in the way of Allah. For example, if I'm on a battlefield, just like Salama, just like Maymuna and her sisters, they were warriors. Just like Safia, the aunt of the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Hani. These women, they were public spectacles. They were valiant. They were warriors fighting in the way of Allah to help establish the religion. So if I'm going to seek a career, it has to be a career that falls in that category. I don't have to fight on the battlefield. But say, for example, what I'm doing. a du'a. This is dawah. Okay? This is fi sabilillah. I am fighting against Shaitan and his allies to try to call you guys back to true Islam with the understanding of those companions, of those women. This is for the sake of Allah, but even still, there's certain guidelines we have to have. Certain guidelines, fi sabilillah, we women have to fulfill. Number one, we have to be dressed the way Allah commanded. And how is that? The only thing that can be seen of me publicly is this: my face, my hands, and what naturally appears when I raise them up like this with a sword, or if I'm out at the grocery store reaching for detergent, reaching for a box, reaching to keep my child from falling. And who gave us this understanding? Aisha, radiyallahu anha, Ibn Abbas, radiyallahu anha, and Ibn Umar. They said the woman can show only this: her face, her hands, and what naturally appears here, and whatever makeup and whatever jewelry she has on them. So makeup ain't haram, jewelry ain't haram, as long as it's not to be a public spectacle, to deliberately, intentionally bring attention to me, to pick up a dude. It's what we call in English prostituting ourselves. What does the word prostitute mean in English? It doesn't just mean a woman, as that the hooker word. It means to sell yourself, to put yourself out there and sell it for money, for payment, for gratitude. We Muslim women cannot embark upon any career that entails us selling ourselves, prostituting ourselves. I have to smile to get the man's attention. I have to engage in small talk to get his attention. I have to be flirty. I have to walk a certain way to command his attention. This is public spectacle. This is what we are forbidden to do as Muslim women in careers or going out the house, period. That's why we don't wear perfume. Perfume draws unnecessary attention. So if I were to break down what type of careers a woman cannot have as a Muslim woman, any career that entails her trying to pleasure a man that is not for the sake of healing him with his health. That includes body massages. A Muslim woman cannot give a body massage to a man because this entails me giving him pleasure, selling myself to give him pleasure, which is the English word prostitute. Do you women get it? This is how you answer questions about Islam. Y'all got to break it down, give the hadiths, and give the examples from those female companions that I keep teaching y'all about. Why do you think I do all these classes on the companions? So y'all can use their examples. They are our mentors. So, yes, a Muslim woman can have a career as long as the career doesn't entail her selling herself to men, pleasuring men, any of that, bringing unnecessary public attention on me, unless I'm struggling in the way of Allah. Oh, you better have my attention then. I'm getting ready to drill this sword right through you, brother. I'm getting ready to roundhouse kick you. Oh, I need your attention then. Okay? I'm giving dawah. I'm trying to teach you this religion. But even still, all you see is this up. I'm not standing up doing it. That's another thing too. No, a woman cannot stand up in front of an audience of men that's putting herself on display. Again, that's a public spectacle. Now, if I'm on my computer screen, this is all you're going to see. All you see is this. And if you turned on to this, then you got a problem. And also when we speak publicly, Allah commands the believing woman to make her voice loud like mine is. Why do y'all think I'm loud? I am a communication specialist. That's what my degree is in. I can bring Barbara Wawa to shame. I was a broadcast journalism back in my youth days. We're trained to make our voices fierce as women. And I took that class just so I could be the Daya I am today. Okay? A Muslim woman is supposed to make her voice loud and fierce and intimidating publicly. Allah says it. It's for our protection. Allah says, do not soften your voices publicly, women, because you don't know what lurks in the heart of a man. So you sisters have to break down what those guidelines are. When y'all giving me answers, y'all just trying to mimic me. But ain't none of you breaking it down with these hadiths, with these examples from the companions. You got to tell me what those rules are, what those guidelines are, what they mean. What does it mean to be a public spectacle? To put myself out there on display for your enjoyment, your male enjoyment. Allah liberated Muslim women before Islam. Don't y'all know? I tell you guys, take a history class. That's my second degree. I got 2 degrees, one in communication, the other in history, ancient civilizations. That's my 2 specialties. In the 6th century, women were of no value. A woman only served one purpose, sex, to keep the human race going. Women didn't have no rights. The only nation that gave women a little bit of rights were the Romans. Roman women were allowed to own property. And that's it. That's it. Women were chattel, traded, enslaved, prostituted. Allah raised us up from that. Allah said no longer do we women have to go out and sell ourselves to a man. No longer do we women serve the purpose of just being your mere enjoyment. So there's no need for no feminism, sisters. Y'all got to learn your deen, though. You got to learn the lawful and unlawful and learn what you can and can't do. We don't submit to no man. Who told you this? We don't worship no one but Allah. You do not submit to your husband. Who told you that? Where does Allah command a believing woman to submit to her husband? We only submit to Allah. Y'all don't know that? That's well better. That's allegiance to Allah. Disassociation from anyone that comes between that. We don't do our deeds to please our husband. Who told you that? The Prophet ﷺ tells us in a beautiful hadith Qudsi. Allah says he has no need for any deed that we do for his sake and someone else's. So y'all done let these brothers strip you of the dignity Allah gave you. You don't submit to your husband. You submit to Allah. You don't do your deeds to please your husband. You do them to please Allah. And by pleasing Allah, he'll cause whoever needs to love you. That's what he says in his hadith Qudsi. When I love a person, I tell Jibreel, and Jibreel will go and announce to all the heaven that Allah loves this person. And then the angels of mercy will descend upon the earth and cause the people who need to love that person to love them. Allah commands you to obey your husband. But he's saying, obey him in the things I command you to obey him in. Allah does not say submit to your husband. And guess what? Your husband got to obey you too. It's a tick for tack. There's rights you have over him too. He's got to fulfill your rights too. So you sisters got to learn this deen correctly and stop learning from men, because the men got y'all messed up. Y'all messed up. I don't know what kind of women you sisters are. Y'all don't know what type of jobs y'all can get. And what about this? Answer this. What if you get married? What if you marry and you want to work and your husband tells you no? Can somebody answer that? Y'all women should know this answer too. You're married now. Your husband tells you, I don't want you to work. What happens? And why? Who can answer that? Come on, sisters, this is easy. I mean, in Fresno, your husband told you he don't want you to work. What happens then? This is the question that y'all can see on my YouTube channel. Some of the Kafirs responded to the shorts that we put out on this. And their response was, oh, you know, your husband tell you you can't work. How do you respond to the Kafirs? You're married. Your husband tells you he doesn't want you to work, sisters. What happens then?
Divorce is good and lawful, but if for him, he can tell me that because I'm supposed to obey my husband. If I didn't have it put in my contract when I got married to him.
Wait a minute. What does divorce is good and lawful mean?
Because I would divorce him. He can't tell me what I
Okay, I don't want to know what you would do. I want to know, so what does your religion?
That's why I said that if it wasn't in my contract, I would have to obey him. Now,
why?
That's not correct. Correct me.
Why? Y'all got to
when I got married to the man, if I didn't have it put in my contract that I can work, in that he couldn't stop me from working, that it would be okay for that to happen, he can't. He had already signed it, so he can't go back. It's in there.
Why? The brothers are typing now. Yeah, y'all see? They letting themselves be known. These brothers ain't hiding. Look who's in here, y'all. Some famous person now. They saying, stay typing subhanallah. What the heck? Yeah, you brothers did it. Y'all doing all that political garbage. These women can't answer these questions. And their husbands are worse than they are. That's why their husbands abuse them. That's why y'all got to deal with divorce. Y'all teaching the wrong stuff. Stop all that political garbage and teach wala better. The lawful and the unlawful. And what la ilaha illallah means, brother, they ain't even hiding who they are now. Look who's in here. Somebody else want to try to answer. Answer this question Islamically. What if a Muslim woman is married and her husband tells her he doesn't want to work? Does he have the right to do that? And if so, why? What are the guidelines, if any? Remember, Islam is not just a religion. It's a way of life based on guidelines given by your Lord. Can somebody answer this question Islamically?
No, he cannot do that because the man's job is to maintain and provide, and it's a command from Allah, so he has to do that.
He has to
okay. Provide.
Okay, here we go. We getting better. That's one of the kids. Okay, this kid is right. Yes, you don't answer the way Fresno did. Divorce ain't got nothing to do with this. This is a question about not divorce. It's about a woman working. And she's married. And her husband tells her he doesn't want her to work. What the heck divorce got to do with that? He's a good man. Why would I divorce him? That's stupidity, Fresno. Stop being rough and tough. And Islamically, he has that right to tell you to not work. Why? Because again, Islam is a way of life with guidelines. And one of the guidelines is that it is the job of the man to provide and maintain and protect his family. In Islam, Muslim women don't have to work. We don't have to work, you Western women. That's not our job. Our job is the children. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, each and every one of you. See how I'm answering? Islamically, not with the Kafir way of thinking, not with the American way of thinking, not with your mean and toughness. The Prophet said, each and every one of us is a guardian over something, and we will be held accountable for our wards. The man is the guardian over his family. He's responsible for providing, maintaining, and protecting them. The woman is the guardian over her children and her husband's property. It's our job to take care of the children and the property. It's your job to make sure the bills are paid. It's your husband's job to go out and work. It's your job to write the checks. So that's why if your husband tells you he don't want you working, you don't work. You don't ask for a divorce. Who would do that? You say, okay, because guess what? I didn't want to work anyway. What woman wants to work? We weren't created for that. It's not part of our makeup as women. If it's part of yours, then you must got some dude in you. You've been too westernized. You become like the non-believers. You become worse than animal. Because don't know woman, we women like to be cared for. We like to be treated like princesses. Y'all get that? Does that make sense to you, sisters? Your brothers are shaking their head. Yeah, blame yourselves for them sorry lectures y'all put out about nothing but politics and kafir bashing and the psychology, the human psychic. Y'all need to take that human psychic, that human psychology, and toss it and learn these hadiths. That's what you famous duat need to do. Take your psychology PhD and shove it down the toilet. Islam is the psychology that we live by. Everybody understand that? So that's what it is. So yes, if I'm married, no. I mean, first of all, that's one of the things you look for. Your guardian looks for when you get married. He tries to marry you to a man that can provide for you. He tries to marry you to a man that can protect you and care for you. That's what your guardian is going to do anyway. If he's going to marry you to a bum, something wrong with your guardian. We marry men that can take care of us. That's one of the rights Allah gave us. Exactly, like this brother's typing here. Yes, what man wants his wife to work? That's your job as a man. You are the provider, not her. You women that want to work, something wrong with y'all. Now, there are exceptions to everything. For example, a doctor, a nurse, the medical field. The medical field, guys, is always going to be an exception because life and death are everything in Islam. There's always exceptions. We need Muslim female doctors. We need female nurses. We need, I had a mammogram today. And my mammogram was given by a woman. Do you guys know what you got to go through for a mammogram? Would you sisters feel comfortable having a man pick up your breast, put it on that thing and squeeze it? Women have to work in the medical field. The Prophet's wives, Aisha was a nurse. Islamia was one of the first doctors in Islam with the Prophet. Her father was a physician, and he trained her to be a physician. And she and her father did plastic surgery. They made a nose out of copper and put it on a companion. So there's exceptions. The medical field, we need women in that. So if I had a daughter who was a doctor, or I got a daughter that is a nurse, as her guardian, I'm going to make sure that whoever she marries is good and okay with her working part-time as a doctor or nurse. And I'll put it in the contract. You understand now, Amina? You just don't say, I put it in my contract. You can put it in your contract. You ain't going to get no husband. You better, there are certain jobs that we got to have. We got to have female doctors. We got to have, ultrasound technicians who are female. I don't want no man doing the ultrasound on me. So there's always exceptions in everything. You got to have women doctors, women medical field. But other than the medical field, you ask yourself, is there a need? Is there a need in Islam for it? Is there a need? Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Otherwise, am I being a public spectacle? Okay, everybody understand that. So I want y'all to work on being more intelligent in your answers. Answer not based on your feelings, your opinion, what you would do. Answer what Allah said to do. Because I try to keep my personal feelings out. When I answer these questions, I ain't answering based on my personal thoughts, because my personal thoughts are crazy. Y'all might consider me dark. Hello. But I'm answering based on what Allah said and what the Prophet said and those companions' understanding. Leave that personal crap out. Because if you sisters put in your contract that you want to work, you're going to have a hard time finding a righteous man, because the righteous men want their women to be at home. Because your home is better for you. Y'all got that? Your home is better for you. Y'all got it? Any questions on this stuff? I can't get over this. Yeah, well, I'm going to stop right here. This is going to be the class for today. Y'all don't understand how y'all take a lot out of me with this. We've been doing this women's thing all week, and it's just, it's depressing. And I'm glad that we do have some of the famous duet here. Dr. Jamali probably brought these brothers in here, but I'm glad to see we got these famous Daya in here so y'all can see where y'all have fallen short, real short in your dawah. All right. Any questions or comments? What is this person here typing? One of the famous Dayas telling me, who is this Amir Abdul Mumin? You got an issue? What are you two ranting on? What are you talking about? Who are you? Where you learn from? Who's your teacher? Who's your teacher? Who are you to come in here and try to type on my screen? I got the famous other Daya telling me, deal with Amir Mumit. Who are you? Who's your teacher? Where'd you learn from? How old are you? Who are you to try to go up against lailanasheeba? Who are you to go one-on-one with Layla? Give me your teacher. Who is your teacher? Your teachers are all in prison. And then don't you dare open your mouth to try to give any comments in lailanasheeba's stream, because it's evident you ain't learned from nobody but a bunch of criminals with your criminal mentality. Y'all see why you got to be rough and tough as a female dyer. Y'all see why Allah says be intimidating publicly. If you a Muslim woman, make your voice loud, make your voice intimidating, because you got to deal with criminals who want to challenge you when they ain't qualified to lick your shoe. Now I got a famous brother in here laughing. It's the truth. Ain't qualified to lick off my shoe. But you want to come in here and try to put your stuff in. Family, you know who it is and you know what to do. Because I guess Mina is driving.
I'm here. I was letting them get them. I got them.
Okay.
Either one. I see somebody else.
I got you.
His teachers are in prison. But he think he can come in here and try to check Layla. Girl, please. Brother College, that's crazy, ain't it? I see College laughing. Exactly. Yeah, he gonna check me. His teacher is in prison. Mine are dead. They had good deaths. Alhamdulillah. All right, any other questions, guys? Yeah, okay, so I'm going to stop right here for today. Tomorrow, I'm going to finish the chapter. I'm going to tell y'all why I'm hesitating. I really like this chapter of the book, this chapter on self-reflection. I really hope all of you are doing self-reflection. You Muslim women, you sit down one-on-one at night, reflect on your life. What are you doing that you shouldn't be doing? What are you not doing that you should do? This is how you change yourself. This is how you cause Allah to take away the trials, because all of us are going through hardships, and not all hardships are tests. Some of the bad challenges that we're facing in our personal lives are punishments. Because we don't know the lawful and the unlawful. Because we don't dress properly. Because we're earning our living from unlawful means. So that's why your trials are hard. Change yourself, sisters. Get it together. All right. So I'm going to log out for now. I'll be back at 7:45. We have a real scholar of the ulama here in America. He's an American Muslim jurist, Sheikh Saud. He'll be here at 7:45. And his brother's a messenger. Wait a minute. Hold on. What? Oh, what is my class? Sheikh. This is another Sheikh. Sheikh, my class is every day at 6. Yes, every day at 6. He said he likes the way I teach. I'm going to take that as a compliment coming from you, brother. By the way, peace out, brother. Give my salams to Imam Siraj. Yeah, I love Imam Siraj. Tell him that lailanasheeba sends her salams and tells him to peace out. Peace out. I love Imam Siraj. Okay. All right, guys. I'll be back at 7:45. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta.